Hey guys, it's Megan. So like many of you, I've just been kind of chilling in my house lately, and staring at the same few walls every day kind of motivates you to change them up a little bit. At least it does for me. So in today's video, I'll be showing you 5 wall art ideas that you can make using things that you probably already have at home. But before we get started, I wanted to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative and curious people. They have classes on all sorts of topics, like illustration, graphic design, photography, animation, and more. Skillshare classes are a great way to keep yourself occupied when you're stuck at home. I just took a class called Stick to It, How to Maintain a Creative Practice by Amaryllis Henderson. Not gonna lie, your girl has definitely been lacking a little motivation lately, so I took this class to kind of inspire me to get back into the swing of things. In the class, she talks about setting daily challenges for yourself, something small that you can do every day to reach your goal, and it was just what I needed to get inspired again. If you're looking for inspiration, the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free 2-month trial of Skillshare Premium. So with all that being said, let's just get into the video. This first project was inspired by these wooden print hangers that I've been seeing everywhere lately. They're usually made out of wood, but since I know that not everyone has access to that, I made mine out of cardboard. For this project, you'll need cardboard, a piece of paper, ribbon, and a hot glue gun. I used some contact paper and some mini magnets as well, but those are both optional. Start by drawing whatever you'd like onto your paper. If you're not a huge fan of drawing, you could always print something out too. I drew these Keith Haring inspired figures, but you can draw anything that you want. To make the frame, I measured the top edge of my drawing onto a piece of cardboard and cut out 4 strips that were 1 inch wide. Then I covered each strip with this wood print contact paper. I got this at the dollar store a few years ago, and if you don't have contact paper, you could always find a wood grain pattern online and print it out to make some DIY scrapbook paper, or you could just cover it with any other paper that you have on hand. You could even leave the cardboard plain if you wanted to. For the next step, I took 2 of those cardboard pieces and hot glued some mini magnets onto the back. And if you don't have magnets, don't worry about it, you can just hot glue the cardboard strips to the top and bottom of your paper. To finish the frame, use a little more hot glue to stick a piece of ribbon onto the back of the top piece of your frame. And if you used magnets, you can stick your drawing in between the top 2 pieces and add the other 2 on the bottom. But again, if you don't have magnets, you can just hot glue the cardboard pieces onto the top and bottom of your drawing. So here's how my finished piece turned out. I really like this style of frame, and I definitely want to make more of these. The next project I made was this clothespin wall organizer. For this project, you'll need clothespins, cardboard, and something to decorate it with. I used some contact paper that I had left over, but you could also use scrapbook paper or paint. First, cut out a piece of cardboard. I made mine 12 inches wide and 4 inches tall. Then, cut out a second piece of cardboard that's exactly the same size, and hot glue the 2 pieces together. This will be the base of your organizer. I covered the cardboard with some leftover contact paper and hot glued the clothespins on top. You could paint the clothespins if you wanted to, but I have a lot of natural wood in my room anyways, so I thought they were fine. Plus, if you've ever decided to paint clothespins, it's kind of a pain, not gonna lie. But here's how my finished wall organizer turned out. This is a great way to store things like jewelry or scrunchies, and it would also be great to display Polaroids. Or you could use it in your closet to store things like belts or tank tops. The next thing I made were these butterflies. My family's been going through a ton of these plastic water jugs recently, and I wanted to find a way to use them. We usually get the big ones that you can put on your water cooler, but they've been sold out everywhere and we don't really have the best tap water at my house. But for this project, you'll need a water jug, milk jug, or any other similar plastic container, an X-Acto knife, and some Sharpies or alcohol-based markers. First, use your X-Acto knife to cut the flat sides off of the plastic jug. Obviously, be super careful when you're doing this because I may or may not have poked myself a few times, but when you're done with that, take one of those pieces and tape it on top of a butterfly printout. You could always draw them freehand, but I decided to make it a little bit easier for myself. Then, just use your markers to trace the butterflies. You can do all sorts of other shapes too. This is kind of like making shrinky dinks, except you don't have to put them in the oven. Which, side note, if you happen to find some number 6 plastic, definitely save it because you can use it like shrinky dinks. But this was not number 6 plastic. It was 1 or 2 or something. But once I was finished coloring, I added a few dots with some white paint to the wings. And when that dried, I cut them all out. The ink from my markers kind of smeared a little bit, so I sprayed the butterflies with this sealant that I had on hand. I think a gloss finish might have been better, but I still really liked them. And here's how my butterflies turned out. I just stuck them to the wall with some tape, but I think that it would be cute to hang these with some string from the ceiling or in front of a window. The fourth idea is this cardboard sunflower. I painted mine purple and silver to match my room, but this would look great in brown and yellow too. All you need is some cardboard, scissors, an X-Acto knife, and a hot glue gun. First, find a circular object to trace. I used a lid from an old peanut butter jar. Cut out the circle, take another piece of cardboard, and peel off one of the layers to reveal the corrugated ridges underneath. I used an X-Acto knife to help me loosen the top layer. This does take a little bit of patience. It took me about 20 minutes to do this one sheet of cardboard. Once most of the top part was off, I just went back in with my knife and got rid of any of those extra little bits of cardboard that were stuck. And here's what it should look like so far. To make the flower petals, place your cardboard circle on a piece of scrap paper. Draw a small petal shape on the paper and cut it out. Use this as a stencil and trace it about 12 times on the back of that cardboard sheet that we just did. Cut all of those out and hot glue them onto the back of the cardboard circle. I wanted my sunflower to have 3 layers of petals, with the petals getting a little bit larger each time. So I put my flower back onto that scrap paper and drew another petal template. I cut that out and cut out 12 more petals. I know there's only 11 in the picture, but just pretend there's 12. Glue the second layer of petals to the back of the flower the same way that we did before. And for the third layer, I drew another template on my piece of paper, again making it just a little bigger than that last one. I cut out 12 more petals and hot glued them on as well. And here's what you should have so far. I covered my sunflower with a layer of white paint first, so it would be a little easier for the other colors to show up. Then I painted the petals a light purple and the center black. I thought it might be cool to give it sort of a metallic look, so when that dried, I went over the whole thing with a little bit of silver paint. And here's how my finished sunflower turned out. Surprisingly, this was light enough that I could just stick it to the wall with some Scotch tape. The last project that I made was this pressed flower frame. This took a lot of trial and error, but I eventually figured it out. I started by making the frame. I just traced a picture frame that I already had onto a piece of cardboard and cut out 2 of these. Then I covered both frame pieces with purple cardstock. Now for the actual pressed flowers. There are 2 ways that you can do this. The first way that I tried was by taking fresh flowers and ironing them in between 2 pieces of wax paper. You just lay down a piece of wax paper, put your flowers on top, put another piece of wax paper on top of that, and stick a piece of paper on top to protect your iron. That worked okay. It looks pretty good when you hold it up against a window, but it's not looking so hot just up against the wall. So for my second attempt, first I pressed the flowers with an iron. Lay the flowers out on top of a piece of paper, and put a second piece of paper on top. Use something heavy to press down on the flowers for about 2 minutes. I use this box of paper. Take that off, and put your iron on the lowest setting, holding it over each section for about 10 seconds. After I dried the flowers, I arranged them on a laminating sheet and ran it through my laminator. There are still a few imperfections, but this worked a lot better. And to finish my frame, I used a little hot glue to stick the laminating pouch to the cardboard frame. I cut off the excess plastic and reinforced it with some E6000 glue, since hot glue really isn't the best for plastic. I put the second cardboard frame on the back and let it dry overnight. And here's how the finished piece turned out. This would be super cute to do for Mother's Day coming up. People keep saying I should put plants in my room, but I really don't want bugs, so I figured that this was the next best option. So here's how I actually arranged everything in my room. I took everything down off of the wall around my closet, and then I started hanging things back up. I thought the butterflies were making it look a little too cluttered, so I took those down and hung them above my door instead. I still need to make a few more things to put around my closet, and if you have any ideas, definitely let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, and I put the pressed flowers in front of my window with my owl collection. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. My merch, my website, and all of my social media will be linked down below. Don't forget that the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free 2-month trial of Skillshare Premium. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!